Andy Hamilton of Trackwrestling here with Maryland coach Kerry McCoy on the night of conflict. You came a long way to watch some wrestling. What did you think of the event tonight?
First of all, I think they did a great job. Different events going on across the country. Everybody's going to gauge it on, the people that came out, the competition, the matches, the fans, and I think it was top notch here, especially with some of the other events that are going on and having to get some of the top talent they were able to get here and the great matches. So it was fun to be here. I was glad I was able to watch and see the competition.
Looks like you guys are spreading a wide net when it comes to recruiting. What has been your approach to that?
We want to be a presence across the country. With us being in the Big Ten, that extends our reach a little bit. We just really want to go out and get the best guys that are going to be the best fit for our program. We don't want to just focus on one specific area and say, oh, we're just going to go get this here. We want to make sure that we get a wide variety of options when we go to recruit. So we want guys that are interested in coming in and being a part of something special and, go across the country from coast to coast and try to make that happen.
You guys, you don't have any returning NCAA qualifiers. What is that like as a head coach? What is this new group, this new wave? What's ahead of you for Maryland wrestling? Kind of hitting the reset button here.
Yeah, the guys are hungry. They understand the history that we've had the last few years. In the success that we've had leading into the move to the Big Ten. So these guys want to be successful. They want to do well in the conference. They want to do well in the national scene, and they've got a little chip on their shoulder about what they need to do to be better. So it's pretty cool that the way they've come together in the last couple of weeks, and we're just excited for what we're going to do and turn some heads.
We're in the first week of practice here. You've obviously been around the guys quite a bit in the last several months. Has there been anybody that's taken a big leap here in the last, since the end of last season?
I think it's been a gradual. I don't think anyone's been just like a 0 to 100 type deal. But we've had some guys that have made those incremental changes. A little bit every day makes them better. And our heavyweight Yusuf Amida, he had a great spring. Wrestled in all the events, the UWW Nationals, the University Nationals, the World Team Trials, and he's been putting the time in. We've got a lot of guys coming off a red shirt. We got some guys that may potentially red shirt. So, we had 6 guys from our starting lineup last year that were freshmen, either red shirt freshmen, true freshmen, wrestling the conference tournament. So, getting all those guys back. Tyler Goodwin was a guy that was kind of toe-to-toe with Jeff Alexander last year. He was an NCAA qualifier who, got some big wins for us throughout his career, and Tyler was right there with him. So that's a guy that we expect to do some things this year. We've got some other guys that have been waiting for their opportunity to get out there, and young guys, old guys. So it's a pretty good combination. But I'd say those are Yusuf and Tyler are some of the guys that have been in the lineup that have experience that have really done a good job. And then we'll see how those other guys file in. It's exciting to see what happens.
One thing that was unique tonight was the push-out rule in folk style. How do you think it works?
I think it's a great idea, a great concept. You saw in this match, 15 matches, there were only 2 push-outs scored, and they were the last match of the night. So I think it's a good deal where you get to that point of keeping guys focused on staying in the center. I'd like to see it implemented in some capacity, in more events, and then see if it's something that you want to go full scale. But all the action happens in the middle of the matches. You see in the international scene, the matches are a lot more fluid because the guys aren't going out of bounds as much. So it was pretty cool that they decided to do that, and I think it had a good effect.
Our 2 Olympic gold medalists this year, Kyle Snyder, Helen Maroulis, came from your backyard. How has that impacted wrestling in the Maryland area?
Well, one of the biggest things, just for our country, is great that we can get those titles, and from the state of Maryland. It doesn't matter where you start, doesn't matter what what your resume is. It matters, what you put the work in. And you see those are 2 people that really dedicated themselves against all odds to be the best in the world, and it paid off. So that's really the biggest thing. And the fact that from Maryland really gives a lot of hope and excitement for the younger kids in Maryland that, hey, just because they're from a small state doesn't have a lot of tradition, we can achieve at the highest level. So it's nice to see that. We just had a recognition of them a couple of days ago. The state federation put on a great event that they recognized Kyle and Helen, and it's just awesome to see what they're doing in the sport and how it's affecting all of our young people, but especially in the state of Maryland. It was pretty cool.
Thanks for joining us, Kerry.
All right, thank you.